And we welcome you back to Don Hertler Senior Field, North Canton Memorial Stadium. Jackson and Hoover getting ready to kick it off. And before tonight's opening kickoff, let's take a look at the MCTV keys to the game. And to do that, Jim Ballard. Jim?
Well, it's real simple for Hoover. They got to control the line of scrimmage and win first downs. This will allow them to run some play action passes, to run the zone read with John Keller and Rakowski, to get the ball down the field to those outstanding wide receivers. Also, they can't give up any big plays. They got to let Jackson's receivers catch the ball in front of them, come up and rally and make tackles. For Jackson, they got to start fast. 2 weeks ago we did the game, Dave, where they played against Canton Central Catholic. They turned the ball over the first 2 possessions. They got to take care of it. They got to start fast. They can't allow this Hoover crowd to get into the game. Playoff implications on the line. Hoover wins, they're in.
Thank you, Jim. Those are our MCTV keys to the game. Our game brought to you each week in part by MCTV, now delivering more than 75 channels of sports, news, and entertainment in high definition. At MCTV, they go the extra smile. Bob Jeffries, our statistician here tonight, lets us know that we have cloudy skies, kickoff temp 62 degrees, a little bit of wind from the south at 7 miles an hour, and Hoover kicks away, and we're underway here. Deep kick. That's Kulich. Kulich in trouble, and he is going to go down inside the 10-yard line. Great kick coverage by the Vikings, so Jackson will start deep in their own territory. As we take a look at the Omni Orthopedic starting lineups, here's Jackson on offense. The wide receivers are O'Quinn, Ryan, and Bullier. The tight end is Fisher. Up front, it's Solstice, Miller, Dye, Hicks, and Ferrante. The running back is Childers, and the quarterback, number 14, Jarrett Pilata. Childers lines up to the right of Pilata. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side on 1st and 10. And they give us to Childers. He's got running room, puts his head down, and carries out near the 15-yard line. That's gain of about 7 on first down. And let's take a look at the Vikings defense now. Across the front, it's Logan, Schott, and Horn. The linebackers, Reisinger, Bauer, Smith, and Rupert. And the corners are George and Bird. The safeties, Gallagher and Forrest. 2nd down and about 5 from the 8-yard line. Pilata looking to that Jackson sideline down in front of us. 2nd down play call now. Pilata drops back, looks right, guns it, caught, and then dropped. Boyer does not hang on. Out near the 18-yard line, so Jackson now looking at a 3rd down and a long 4, JB.
That was great recognition by Jarrett Pilata. They brought the outside linebacker blitz off the slot, rolling the safety over the top to play cover 0. You threw it right where the blitz came from. Perfect throw, well executed, just not caught by Boyer. Got to have that catch for 1st down.
Jackson with a win tonight would clinch a share of the Federal League title. And now timeout. A timeout called by the Jackson Polar Bears on this 3rd down and 4 call. But while we have a moment, we want to thank each and every one of you who donated to our 2017 Food Fight. Part of the McKinley-Massillon game. We'll be announcing the winner and present the trophy on the field tomorrow afternoon at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Stay tuned. We'll see who won, either Massillon or McKinley, the 2017 Food Fight, where really everybody wins, including the Starr County Hunger Task Force and everybody in need.
Who's been dominating that series, Dave?
McKinley has, JB.
Okay.
They've won the first 5. This is the 6th year.
Okay.
How about an interesting time out there, Jim?
It's a big play early in the ball game to really, set where field position may end up. It's a big call by Coach Budd. I think he realized that. Just want to take a little bit of time and use the timeout and get a good play call.
And Pilata back. Now rolling left. Here comes pressure. Eludes one man, and he'll be sacked back at the 9. And he is slow to get up, Jim.
Yeah, he's scrambling out to his left. Pretty good pressure. Steps up underneath, and he lands right on that left shoulder, which has been bothering him a little bit during the course of the year. He separated it early in the year. He's been playing through it. It looks like it landed on that AC joint, rattled him a little bit. He's a tough kid, though. He'll play through that. But, man, those hurt when you land on those AC joints, though.
Number 13, Trey Wright, to kick from his own end zone. And, boy, he hammers one. What a kick. No return as it goes out of bounds down near the Hoover 40-yard line. And the junior, Trey Wright, with a tremendous kick. Let's take a look now at the Hoover Vikings on offense. Again, brought to you by Omni Orthopedics. The wide receivers are Nist, Johnson, and Hobart. The tight end, Robinson. Across the front, Van Est, Boron, Goddard, and Gates with Pope as well. Rykowski, the running back. John Keller is the quarterback.
51-yard punt.
Wow.
Exactly what Jackson needed to get out of that hole they were in after being held pretty deep in their own territory.
Hoover on offense, right near the 40-yard line. They'll put a man in motion to give to Rykowski. Rykowski straight ahead, and Rykowski with 4, close to 5 yards on first down. Now the Jackson starters on defense. Across that front, Johnston, Horton, Gray, and Junker. The linebackers are Deere, Schott, and Leffel. Cornerbacks Branson and Kulich, and the safeties are Childers and Shatrich. Officials stop the play briefly. Ball just shy of that 45-yard line. Second down and about 5 yards to go now for the Vikings. And again to Rykowski straight ahead, and he is close to that first down marker at midfield. He is going to have it. A Wacom Auto Group first down for the Vikings. 2 carries by Rykowski, 10 yards even.
Just downhill run, north and south, getting shoulder squared, and North Canton Hoover's doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage these first 2 offensive plays.
Well, we've talked about Luke Rykowski an awful lot. He had 111 yards in the game last week against Columbus Bishop Hartley, a game the Vikings came up short 24-19. And this is Keller. Keller's got good yardage as he carries inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Both of these quarterbacks, JB, as you well know, can get the job done with their feet as well as their arm.
Yeah, Hoover leans more on Johnny Keller to run the ball more. He's coming into the ball game with 120 carries for over 650 yards. He runs a lot of the quarterback sweeps, as you saw there, a lot more zone read stuff than what Jared Pilata does. Both of them are Ballard Quarterback Academy's quarterbacks for about 6 years old. Great players and really smart above the shoulders.
Rykowski right into the middle of the line, and again right near that first down marker at the 40. Very close. And the signal is a first down, a Wacom Auto Group first down for the Vikings. So back-to-back first downs on this opening possession for Hoover. Glad to have you with us. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, sideline reporter Frank Salona, statistician Bob Jeffries on another beautiful night here in late October. The last week of the regular season, Jim.
It's gone fast. It goes faster every year.
Keller fakes, now throws, has a man, 35, 30. That's Hubbard dancing inside the 25-yard line, and good for another first down and a big gainer for the Vikings.
Number 8, George Deere.
George Deere with the tackle for Jackson as you see it again.
You know, it's a 3-way read. He can either give the ball to Rykowski, he can run the ball on the keeper, or he can throw the bubble out to Hobart, and Hobart's an explosive wide receiver. He's coming to the ball game, the #1 wide receiver, #1 target for Johnny Keller.
And Brady Nist with a great block downfield to give Hobart more running room. First down at 10, and now a flag comes in, and we've got movement on the Hoover front. That'll cost him 5 yards. So the first negative play here in this drive. Moves him back 5 yards. Ball now at the 29. Great crowd on hand here tonight at North Canton Memorial Stadium. Rykowski. Now Keller throws. Caught and then dropped. unable to hang on was number 14, Brady Nist.
Drop for each team early in the ball game.
Yeah.
Both balls that should have been caught. It's a long throw from that far hash. It was an out route right on the money. Just got his eyes up a little bit quick. Maybe peeking at that corner coming up.
Good coverage out there.
Garrett Sin, number 5.
Rykowski, right there. Keller keeps. Falls inside the 25, down near the 23, and there's an injured Jackson player down near the 30-yard line.
I think that's the junkyard dog, Hayden Junker.
Can't make out the number. Nope, that's number 16. Jake Johnston, the defensive end. And they are tending to him right now, and he is in an awful lot of pain. Let's show you the replay here. Looked like he got rolled up on there on the far side. We're going to take a timeout. 7:39 to go here in the first quarter. Timeout on the field. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Back at Hoover, and the Vikings are facing a 3rd down and 9 at the Jackson 23-yard line. Again, the injured player, Jake Johnston, not putting any weight on that right leg. There you see him being assisted off the field. Let's hope it's not too serious. Frank Salona, maybe we'll be able to get an update for us. We'll see after a bit. Put a man in motion on 3rd down. Keller going to try that left side. Cuts it inside. Breaks a tackle. Now cuts it back to the 10. He's going to take it in for touchdown. And a late hit as well will be tacked on. John Keller with a 23-yard touchdown run. He had a nice escort on that far side, Jim, and we'll make this nominee a nominee for our Friends and Family Credit Union rock solid offensive play of the game.
It's a nice run. Kind of surprised by the call. A quarterback sweep into the boundary on 3rd and 9, but the left side of the offensive line, Gary Cates and Stephen Pope getting it done, and Keller with a great cutback run, great vision for a quarterback, and to the house, and unnecessary penalty that the referees are all over. Trying to get this game under control early before any of that stuff gets out of hand, this being such a fierce rivalry.
Right, now the shift on to attempt the extra point is junior Jonah Klein, number 5. Hoover draws first blood here tonight. Kick on its way, and it is good. 7:25 to go here in the first quarter. Hoover 7, Jackson nothing on our Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Don't forget, coming up at the end of tonight's ball game, we'll have the Jersey's All-American Sports Grill wrap-up report. Jersey's, the area's best stop for food, fun, and entertainment, with locations in Canton, Belden Village, and Greene. The Jersey's wrap-up report. Stay with us at the end of tonight's ball game. Well, JB, at the end of the opening series for Jackson, we saw Jared Pilata come off a little bit shaken up. He's throwing in front of us down here on the Jackson sideline. Looks to be okay.
He's okay, but he's definitely hurting a little bit. And, I've had an AC joint issue in the past. I've talked to Jared. I break film down with him every week, as we talk about on air when we do their games. He's been fighting the left and the right shoulder. I'm just glad that it was the left shoulder that he landed on. But he's hurting, but he's okay, and he's gonna tough through it for sure.
Speaking of injury, let's get an injury update with our Frank Salona on the Jackson sideline. Frank.
All right, guys. Well, just looking here on the Polar Bear bench, Jake Johnston trying to get that ankle kind of worked out a little bit. He's had his shoe off, and he taped it a little bit, and they took it back. They put it back on. Just not feeling comfortable, so they're going to redo it. And then also a quick update on Jared Pilata. He's been shaking his left arm a little bit. I know he might have a little stinger or something, like you said, JB, but he seems like he'll be okay. He'll be back into the ball game.
All right, thank you, Frank. That kickoff of course, had the 15-yard penalty tacked on. So Klein hammered it into the end zone. So Jackson will get a first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. As you see the Jackson offense huddled up on their sideline. Coach Tim Budd in the middle of that. And how about that Hoover scoring drive? Very impressive.
Yeah, it was 8 plays, 60 yards, and it was capped off by a 23-yard run by Keller. 7-0 Hoover. Keller on that drive, 3 carries for 36 yards and a touch. Down.
First down and 10 at the 20. Give to Childers straight ahead. Big hole. Childers with running room out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. That'll be a Wacom Auto Group first down for Jackson. Well, we talked to a lot of people this week, Jim, and the folks that I talked to said the scoreboard operator is going to be busy tonight.
Yeah, we talked about it on Kenny's show and JT's, and we all agree that it's going to be a shootout, and we'll have to wait and see if that's the way it holds. But these offenses are explosive.
Childers again breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and he's out near the 40-yard line. A gain of about 9 yards. Childers had a huge week last week as well. Straight ahead, Childers carrying, crosses the 50.
Great block.
And all the way into Hoover territory down near the 40-yard line. Another Wacom Auto Group first down. Childers last week, they worked him hard, JB. 29 carries, 187 yards in that victory over Green.
Look at the pancake by Jake Ryan. Get yourself some IHOP, son, with that pancake. What a great block outside, which sprung up for another 8 yards. Great run by Childers.
Childers again, left side, 40, 35, upended ball comes out, and Hoover's got it. The Vikings recover. And an early turnover stops a promising Jackson drive. So the Vikings will get the ball back at their own 27-yard line.
Here's the problem with the run, Dave. He's running to the left and the ball's in the inside arm. He did put 2 hands on it, but I'd like to see that ball in the outside arm. The helmet got in there perfectly, but I'd like to see him be a little bit more fundamentally sound. Running to the left, had the ball in the left arm, but he's running the ball extremely well. Just got to finish the run and hold on to the ball.
First down and 10 now. Rykowski breaking tackles. Crosses the 35 out to the 37-yard line. You could switch uniforms and jersey numbers, and I feel like you're watching the same guy. Rykowski and Childers,
just a little bit thicker than what Childers is. He's also a wrestler. He's an animal on the mat. I'm talking to a couple of my quarterback's dads who are in the wrestling scene, and he's tough on the mat as well as the gridiron.
Rykowski trying to find running room, and for the first time, Jackson slows him up, but it appears that he'll have enough. It is enough for a first down to the 39-yard line. Another Wacom Auto Group first down for the Vikings.
But the game will result in a Viking.
You had a brief look there at big number 78, Xavier Gray, right in the middle of that defensive line.
6'9", 4 bills, 10 pounds. Can't miss him. They're getting a lot of mileage out of him. I was really impressed with the way that he played a couple weeks ago at Canton Central Catholic.
Rykowski dives out near the 45. He was tripped up initially there by number 34, Chad Leffel for Jackson. Ball at the 45-yard line. You're looking at a second down and 4. 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. Vikings on top on a John Keller 23-yard touchdown run. And Rykowski again. And he'll pick up a couple of tough yards to the 47-yard line. So 3rd down and 2 coming up now for Hoover.
This Hoover offensive line is mammoth.
And they're young.
We're looking at
young, JB.
An average of about 6'2", 270 pounds. It's a lot of girth up front.
There's only one senior, there's a sophomore, and 3 juniors across the front. Here's Keller. He's got the first down as he plows into Jackson territory to the 48-yard line. Another Wacom Auto Group first down. Yeah, you've got Boron, who's a sophomore. You've got Goddard, Pope are your juniors. Van Est is a junior, and Gates is your senior.
Moron's senior.
Oh, okay.
The only reason I know that is because I know his pops from the cigar shop.
All right. Well, then
and he walked in before the ball game. But yeah, they're huge. But they do have quite a few young guys that are very good up front that they can spell some of these seniors.
I want you to look here. Back me up. Class of 2020.
We got a misprint on the roster. Misprint on the roster.
All right.
Yes, Pops is a big guard guy. Loves to spend a lot of time down at OSI.
Okay.
Go in there and break some bread and hang out, talk football a little bit. Great family, Borons.
2nd and 4 at the 42. Keller back, looking middle, ball in the air. He's got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown. That is Drew Johnson. He's listed in the program as a sophomore, JB.
He was wide open is what he was.
He sure was.
He could have been an 8th grader, and he would have been wide open. An obvious breakdown in coverage by the Polar Bears. You know, that's what Hoover does. They lull you to sleep with the run. They lull you to sleep with the run, and then they come out 3-by-1 and run that vertical package. You got a guy on the backside hash right there. You got another guy up the other hash, and then you got 2 outside receivers up on the outside of the numbers, really stretching that defense from sideline to sideline and vertically. Good throw by John Keller. Great recognition. Safety stayed in the middle of the field. The over route to the backside hash was wide open and a good read and throw.
Perfect throw, great catch. Extra point attempt by Klein, up and good. 4:03 to go here in the first quarter of play. And we're going to show you this touchdown pass from ground level. How sweet it is.
Tight. Take a picture of that one, put it on the wall. That one's pretty. Perfect throw, great execution, smooth drop, great route. Everything was perfect. I'd like to see high school get a little lenient on some of the celebrations like the NFL and college has, you know what I mean? I think that would be awesome.
You'd like that?
I would. You know, a little duck, duck, goose. I saw a Pee-wee, one of my good friends, Mark Porter, who runs scoutingohio.com, who does a great job for all these kids trying to get them publicity to different colleges. His little flag team had like a touchdown, and they did a little duck, duck, goose. It was on Facebook. It was great.
Did you see the hide and seek? I think one of the Steelers did last week or 2 weeks ago.
It makes the game fun, man.
That's
now
fun.
we're talking about, you know, it used to be the NFL and no fun league. Now we're bringing it back a little bit, and it's entertaining.
It is kind of fun. Jonah Klein ready to kick off. Back deep for Jackson, Coolidge, Shatrich, and Bollier. So Hoover off to a quick start, 14-0 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Klein end over end kick and taken by Shatrich to the 20. Oh my goodness, was he hammered. Out to the 24-yard line. It'll be a first down for Jackson.
That's a tackle by Sam Bird on special teams. Number 9. Jackson's got to get something going. You know, we talked about it at the outset. Jackson needs to start fast, and they're turtle-like right now.
Yeah.
You know, they had a penalty that hurt early in the game, had a drop ball, then we had a turnover, and, you know, now you're down 14-0 with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Got to get an answer here and stop the bleeding.
Childers to the right of Pilata, and Hoover showing blitz. They'll give it to Childers, and he steps out of a would-be tackler and gets across the 25. Great play defensively. Coming up and making a nice hit was the safety, Mike Gallagher, where Childers would have had a lot more.
Yeah, he would. Childers is a guy that's second in the league behind Rakowski in rushing. He's averaging 5.5 yards a carry. Good kickoff block by the offensive line on that play, and a good tough run. See the ball on the outside left arm that time? It's like I got a microphone in his helmet, Dave. Hearing me.
Trips to the far side for Jackson this time. 2nd down and about 7. We'll take a look at that Hoover scoring drive in just a moment. Time got away from us a little bit there. And Pilata going to give it to Childers. Tries right side, cuts back, spins, and he is knocked down back at the 25-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 play. Jim, quickly, let's cap that Hoover scoring drive.
7 plays, 73 yards. It was a 42-yard dime from John Keller to Drew Johnson. 14-0 Hoover.
So the Hoover defense stout here in the early going. Here's that play again.
Trying to pull the backside tackle, and the backside pursuit was outstanding by number 55.
Spencer Lee.
Yeah, and then Ben Smith
That
cleaned
came in and
up.
Cleaned it up.
Yep.
Broomed it.
3rd and 9. Back is Pilata. Looking. Throws. Through the hands of its intended receiver on that far side. Pass intended for Ethan Coolidge. It went right through his hands. And Pilata may have gotten hit that time on the throwing arm.
Good job up front by the offensive line, giving Jarrett plenty of time to survey the field. He just throws it out to his check down, and another drop on 3rd down that could have been a potential 1st down. Got to take your hat off to Hoover's defense right now. They're playing extremely well and forcing Jackson into their 2nd punt in 3 possessions.
On to punt is Wright. And he hammers another one way back. Going to hit and take a Jackson roll down inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Timeout on the field with 2:16 to go here in the first quarter on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hoover on top, 14-0. Back here at North Canton, there you see some of the Jackson student body on hand. Their team trailing here early, 14-0. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 1st down and 10 for Hoover at their own 29-yard line. Give is to Rykowski. Rykowski dragging tacklers out to the 35-yard line.
Strong run by Rykowski. He just gets better as the game goes on, and it's early in the first quarter, and he's just eating up yards like a Pac-Man right now.
5'9", 190 pounds.
He's already got 46 yards rushing in the first quarter with 150 left.
Rykowski again stacked up and then dropped. Nice play up front by Jackson's Chandler Kurtz, number 77, in the middle there. Not a starter, but in there right now. Made the initial hit to slow him down. So you're looking at a 3rd down and about a yard now at the 37. Rykowski gets the handoff straight ahead, fighting for yardage. He's going to have the 1st down to the 39-yard line. Another Wacom Auto Group 1st down for Hoover. Level on the stop for Jackson.
Well, we talked about it again early. Hoover being able to control the line of scrimmage and win on 1st down. Setting up these 3rd and less than a yard, the percentages are for the offense. When you get a good 1st down, your 2nd and medium, and then you end up with 3rd and short, you're going to control the line of scrimmage, you're going to control the ball game, and you're going to control the clock.
At the 39. Again, the fake now over the middle, knocked down. Number 83, I think Hayden Junker was the one who.
Junkyard Dog got his big paws up and knocked that ball. We saw him earlier in the year jump up and tip. I saw it on film. He jumped up, tipped the pass, and intercepted it himself. He's a really good athlete. You're going to see him make some noise on the hard floor this year for Jackson on the basketball court. Really good athlete, big body in there. Did a nice job getting his hands up and knocking down that potentially big play.
Straight ahead, Keller keeps. Keller to the 40 to the 44-yard line. 3rd down and 5 play coming up as we are at 40 seconds and a running clock in the first quarter of play here at North Canton.
See if Jackson's defense can come up with a stop.
Yeah, the Jackson defense does need to stop. Keller back. Here comes the blitz. Keller lets it go early, and it was intended for Rykowski out in the flat, but clearly the pressure forced him to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, he had what he wanted. They free-released the back into the flat, which puts him on a linebacker, and Johnny just short-armed it. And it was a couple yards short. Looked like Deere would have hawked him down from behind and would have been a short of a 1st down. But you got the matchup you want, a running back on a linebacker any day of the week, Dave. You roll those dice and gamble on that one. Just missed it.
So Rykowski ready to punt. The first punt for the Vikings here in the first quarter. And back is Coolidge. Boy, Rykowski just hit a missile.
Is that a 2-iron? I saw Tiger out on the greens hitting balls. Man, that ball got off the ground about 10 feet. It's like a 2-iron.
These punters,
the wind.
These punters tonight are just hammering the ball. Now, when I look up at the flag, the wind is definitely at his back, and I think it's picked up a bit too, JB.
I do too, but he crushed that.
He did. And credit Trey Wright earlier kicking into the wind.
Right.
He smashed a 51-yard punt.
And Trey Wright filling in big shoes. Let's not forget about Dylan Dingler, what he did last year with that foot. I mean, he was Stark County Player of the Year in football.
Yep.
You know what he did on defense and offense. But here's a kid who averaged like 45 yards a punt, and he could walk on at Ohio State and win the punting job. He's a tremendous athlete.
Yep. Playing baseball right now.
Had a walk-off sack fly to win that Scarlet and Gray series.
At the 25, this is O'Quinn, and he is swarmed under. They're going to give him forward progress to the 19. That's a loss of a yard. No fooling that Hoover defense, and that is going to mark the end of the first quarter. What a performance by the Vikings. At the end of one, it's Hoover 14, Jackson nothing on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. We are back. Don Hertler Senior Field, North Canton Memorial Stadium. Hoover on top over Jackson 14-0. Second down and 11 for Jackson. Pilata back, looking all kinds of room. He'll let it fly down the field. O'Quinn is tripped up at the last minute, and flags fly. And it's, trying to be partial here, but it's really unfortunate because the Hoover defender had the position. He just got his legs tangled up. He was right there. No?
I think it was a little bit more than that. Yeah, you know what? I think he catches that if he doesn't.
All right, let's see.
We get a replay on that.
Hopefully we'll get a replay.
We'll chop that one up, partner.
All right, let's see what this looks like. You might be right.
Pilata took a shot on that in the rib cage too. Oh, see that? He bumped him.
Okay.
And then the hands went up.
Okay.
But he's such a. You know what? If I'm Hoover, I take that 15-yard penalty all day long as opposed to giving up the big play and getting them right back in the ball game.
Sure.
Take the 15, even if it's a close call. Make Jackson earn every yard that they get. They haven't sustained a drive the whole first quarter, so not a bad penalty.
So after the penalty, and there you see Brian Baum on that Hoover sideline. At the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, brought to you by the Wacom Auto Group. Man in motion, O'Quinn, and they'll give it to Childers. Childers straight ahead. Childers wrapped up, and he is dropped. Back to the line of scrimmage. And that's all before he was pushed back. Hoover not fooled at all.
Now Jackson trying to confuse him a little bit with the jet motion coming across, trying to get those linebackers to widen a little bit. The inside backers doing a nice job of staying home and filling those A gaps.
Childers comes off.
Albright checking in.
Yeah, number 25. That is Noah Albright.
Hoover showing blitz again.
Pilata fakes the handoff, rolls left, guns it, and in and out of the hands of Bollier right near midfield. Not able to hang on. And back near the line of scrimmage, there was a bit of a scuffle that broke out. The official quickly in there to break it up. Bollier usually very sure-handed.
Yeah, they had what they wanted. He sees the matchup man-to-man. You can see the blitz coming off the screen in your left right corner. Little play action, slid a little bit to his left. Can't tell if that was in one hand or if he got both hands on those or not, but just a little bit off so far today for Jackson's offense.
3rd down and 9 at the 35. Pilata back. Here comes the blitz. Throws middle. Broken up near midfield and incomplete. Pass intended for Kulich.
Great play by Gallagher.
You bet.
Timing it just right.
Senior Mike Gallagher in there to break it up. And that'll force another Jackson punt.
Boys in the white a little bit frustrated. They haven't been able to generate any offense.
Now Trey Wright will have the wind at his back. Dropping back for Hoover is David Forrest. He's near his 30. And Wright will kick from about the 25.
Got to keep your eye on Forrest. He's a dangerous return man. We watched him house one against McKinley early in the year.
Calls for a fair catch. Has a little bit of trouble, but hangs on at the 21-yard line. So the Vikings get the ball back. And a big round of applause for that Hoover defense as they go off the field on the far side. Old Carolina Barbecue is a proud sponsor of our broadcast and our player of the game. Our player of the game receives a $25 gift card courtesy of Old Carolina Barbecue. Original barbecue, authentic taste, serving Stark and surrounding areas. We'll announce our player of the game in our wrap-up report. Straight ahead is Rykowski. Fights for some tough yardage out to the 24-yard line. That's a pickup of 3 yards on first down. Another beautiful night, JB, huh?
We've been lucky. We've had 10 straight weeks of no real weather issues. I mean, tomorrow's supposed to rain, but hopefully it rains in the morning and then clears out by the time kickoff rolls around.
Let's hope so. Keller gives off to Rykowski, and this time the Jackson defense is there. No gain on that second down carry. Stonewall.
That backside defensive end needs to stay home because Johnny Keller does a great job of just turning, handing, and lulling you to sleep, and then all of a sudden he pulls it and he's into the second level. But really well defensed in that interior part of Jackson's defensive line.
And a stop made by linebacker Chad Leffel after Rykowski had nowhere to go. 3rd down and 7 now. And a flag comes in. And movement up front against Hoover. That's the call. So that'll cost him 5. And now you're looking at a 3rd down and 12 back from the 19.
The only time Hoover's really stopped is when they've stopped themselves with a couple penalties. 3rd and 12 is a lot harder to pick up, than 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a quarterback, that's a big deal.
It's got to be smart down here. You're inside your own 20. You don't want to have a sack or a turnover to flip the momentum back into Jackson's way.
Man in motion and back. Here comes the blitz. They set up the screen. Rykowski drops the football at the 15-yard line, and clearly he was ready to head upfield with the ball and didn't secure the ball on the catch.
Like the play call, expecting a blitz, which Jackson did, and slipped Rykowski out into the flat, and another drop ball for the Hoover Vikings. Nice job not tipping it off, and you could see Rykowski's eyes turn upfield just a little bit too quick. Lost sight of the ball, and it ended up on the ground.
Rykowski to punt. Hits it low. Bounces inside the 40. Friendly roll. And all the way down to the 30-yard line. So Jackson will take over with 9:15 to go here in the first half. Hoover 14, Jackson nothing.
Another 51-yard punt by Rykowski. Ball didn't get a lot of height. It was like hitting the driver off the deck in the fairway. You know what I mean, partner?
Right. Childers the ball carrier. He's got running room, and he dives out to about the 38-yard line. Our Frank Salona is on the Jackson sideline tonight. Let's check in with him now. Frank?
All right, guys, thank you so much. Interesting story that really has evolved over the last year or so. You see the number 40 on the helmets that the Jackson players are wearing here tonight. It's the same number that the Hoover players have been wearing for the last year. It's in honor of Zach Herrera, a young man who passed away unexpectedly last year before the season started. This young man was very well loved in this community, and certainly on the minds and in the hearts of all these players tonight. The Hoover football team has kept his memory alive by wearing his number. The fans certainly have done their part. The cheering section also has many shirts and a lot of banners and things that are always out there with Zach Strong on them. So it's a great tribute to a very nice young man. Unfortunately, he left us very, very, very young.
Thank you, Frank. That report brought to you by SARTA. Come ride with us. And again, our thoughts with the entire Zach Herrera family as tonight, again, senior night, and his life being celebrated along with his teammates out on the field. And there you see the sign that's been on the stands there all season long.
Yeah, it's really a cool thing what the community's doing to keep his presence here. And I mean, he was such a well-liked kid and a good football player, and it's great to see the community continue to rally around it.
Trey right on the punt with a 4th down and a yard to go at the 39. Forrest back deep inside the 25 for Hoover. Just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's a fake, ball in the air, and it's tipped, and it's picked off by Forrest to the 50. Forrest to the Jackson 45-yard line. And we'll make this play another nominee for our Friends and Family Credit Union Rock Solid Play of the Game. Wow.
I like the call, but they had it covered, and he should have just stopped and maybe gone the other way with it, because Hoover did a nice job of running down the field with the flyer down the sidelines, and right there he just pulled up and threw it. He had time. He didn't have to throw it. And I mean, there's three Hoover guys right in the area. Nice job by Forrest coming up from that single return spot to make the interception.
At the 46-yard line now after the turnover, and now 2 turnovers by Jackson. Here comes Keller, and Keller steps inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. That is going to be enough for a Wacom Auto Group first down for the Vikings. And now Hoover, boy, Jim, if they punch one in here, they are really sitting pretty.
Yeah, they are, to go up 3 scores early. And
the way their defense is playing right now?
Defense is playing lights out, and you got the Plata quarterback for Jackson. I'm watching him warm up. He's laboring, making every throw. It's hurting.
Rykowski fighting for yardage down near the 30-yard line. We're watching Jared Plata throw on the sideline down in front of us. Jim, what are you seeing?
Like I said, he's hurting. He's laboring a little bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have quite that zip that he usually has. Until he's hurting, you can see it in his facial expressions when the ball gets out of his hand, but he's still going to gut through it. I mean,
2nd down and 7. Keller straight ahead. He's got a block, and he gets into the secondary briefly before he is wrapped up and dropped. The tackle made by the linebacker, George Deere.
Well-designed play. Quarterback draw did a nice job of selling the pass before he took off up the field. Good lead block by Rykowski.
Ball is now at the 28-yard line. You're looking at a 3rd down and 3. Keller drops the ball, and Junker is on it, and a turnover in favor of Jackson. So the turnover situation now 2-1. Boy, Jackson needed that, didn't they?
Certainly did, and the Junkyard Dog jumping on that like it was a big bone. Nice play, right place, right time for Hayden Junker. And you're right, Dave. All the momentum Hoover's way. Had a 3rd and short. It's 4-down territory. And
so what happened here? As we hopefully will get a replay. Here we see it. Oh,
you know what? The timing was a little bit off with the jet motion. I think the motion was a little bit close to where the snap was caught by John Keller, and he tried to hand it to him too quick, and he just never caught it. The timing, that's the problem with the jet sweeps. You got to snap the ball a little bit early in case of a bad snap to give yourself some time to hand the ball off.
Well, let's see if that turnover for the defense sparks the offense. Childers with a couple of tough yards off that left side. Takes it to the 34-yard line.
Last possession for Jackson, it was 3rd and 1, and people at home might be saying, well, why'd they throw the ball on 3rd and 1? Well, Jackson gives quarterback Jared Plata the ability to RPO it, which means run past it. If he likes what he sees and the defense comes up, he can pull the ball at any time. They've got a passing scheme to every run play.
Plata throws, caught by Childers, 35, breaks a tackle to the 40, and then shoved back. And again, Jim, Jackson will be in that 3rd and short situation. Let's see if they keep the ball on the ground this time.
I'm going to tell you what, the ball's going to be in the running back's gut on this play. There's not going to be a play action. They got to get a first down here. That's the highest percentage play to give the ball. I think if the score's a little bit different, the momentum was a little bit different, I think you might be able to pull it, but not 2 straight possessions when you're desperate for a first down.
3rd down and a yard to go at the 41. This is a big play for Jackson especially. Pilata gives it to Childers straight ahead. He's got the first down and more as he takes it out to the 47-yard line, maybe the 48. First down brought to you by the Wacom Auto Group.
Like I said, right down Main Street.
Yep.
Right in between the guards. Joe Childers having an outstanding ball game, 12 carries, 73 yards. With the exception of the fumble, he's played lights out on the offensive side of the ball. He's doing a nice job of breaking tackles, picking up extra yards after initial contact. You see him break a tackle right there, pick up fall forward for a couple extra yards. Nice job by the left side of Jackson's offensive line, opening a big hole.
Albright in the game, and he'll get the carry left side. 45, 50, breaks through. And Noah Albright with a nice carry down to the 44-yard line of Hoover. That's a pickup of about 8 yards.
Both these offensive lines just mammoth.
Right now, the Jackson front going to work.
Jackson's offensive line averages around 6'1", 260 pounds. A lot of girth up there, and then you bring in Hayden Junker as the H-back for lead block.
Ball is loose, and the Vikings have recovered. And the 3rd Jackson turnover here in the first half. My goodness.
Just things you don't see from either one of these teams. Both teams doing a good job coming into the ball game of not turning the ball over a lot. Hoover, John Keller's only thrown 3 interceptions on the year, and they've only fumbled, I believe, a handful as well. And a lot of turnovers so far for Jackson.
So three turnovers here in the first half for the Polar Bears. Hoover with 1. There you see it on the screen. Keller looking, fires. It's caught. And inside the 45-yard line, that's Brady Niss, the 6-foot senior, with the catch. It's a Wacom Auto Group first down, and the Vikings are right back into Jackson territory.
I like that play call. You motion the back outside, and you widen the outside linebacker. Then you run a spot route by the slot receiver, just taking the place of where the flat defender was, and wide open read. Good job checking the ball down by John Keller.
Trips to the far side on this first down play. Put a man in motion. It's Johnson. Now they'll send Rykowski out to the flat. They'll look for him. He'll get it to the 40. Behind a blocker and down near the 35-yard line before he is punched out of bounds. Nick Shatrich there on your screen, the man who shoved him out. Out at the 35-yard line. Creating space here, right, Jim?
It's tough to tackle guys in space, especially if a big, strong back like Rykowski. Now, listen, he's a guy who's leading the Fed and rushing, but he's a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's averaging 13 yards a catch when he catches it.
Rykowski straight ahead, and now a flag comes in, usually in the area where you'll get a hold.
You can see John Keller look to the sideline. I believe one of the Polar Bears got the hand in the mask. Might add 15 onto this one, which would put Hoover into the red zone.
Yeah, face mask, huh? There it is. Face mask penalty. We're going to take a timeout. 3:46 to go here in the first half. Timeout on the field. Hoover 14, Jackson nothing. Back at North Canton. Hoover 14, Jackson nothing after the face mask penalty. The ball is inside the Jackson 16 with a 1st and 10 for Hoover. Rykowski, and he is knocked down hard, no gain. Well, they're going to give him progress inside the 15, so maybe 2. Clock continuing to roll. If you're curious, Hoover has all 3 timeouts. Jackson has 2 remaining.
Deer and shot coming in to wrap up Rykowski. Number 34 right there, and number 38 to clean it up.
Second down and 8. Keller going to keep. Gets outside to the 10 and spun out of bounds there. Tackle made by Shatrich.
Nice job staying home. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, John does a good job of just lulling you to sleep and then pulling it outside. You can see he got outside the end, but Shatrich coming up from the safety position to feel the alley and to knock him out of bounds.
Under 3 minutes to go. Clock stopped. 2:47. There you see Keller, the 6'2" senior. Keller looks over the defense. He's got Rykowski. Now he'll drop back. Here comes the pressure. He'll throw and incomplete. Keller took a shot.
Jackson dialing up a little blitz. Cover 0. John just caught it a little bit late. When you play cover 0, basically means that there's no safeties deep in the middle of the field and they're blitzing off the slots. You can see him coming right off the edge. John just caught it a little bit late. If he had a tick longer, he might have been able to hit him in stride on the crossing route and been able to take that in. Good stop by Jackson's defense.
Yeah.
Sorry, partner.
4th down and 6, and Jonah Klein on to attempt the field goal. Kick is on its way, and he hit it off to the right, and he was knocked down at the end of the play, maybe looking for a penalty. We'll talk about it more after this timeout. 2:38 left in the first half. Our score remains Hoover 14, Jackson nothing. Back at North Canton with 2:38 to go. Hoover 14, Jackson nothing. After a missed field goal, Pilata going to put the ball in the air and broken up as it was intended for number 12, Jake Ryan.
Birdman coming in, knocking the ball out. Great coverage on the taller wide receiver, Jake Ryan. Tried to run a screen and go, and Bird wasn't having it. Jarrett just missed a little bit to the inside. If he'd got the ball to the outside, it gave Jake Ryan a little bit more of a chance to go up and go over him.
Jim, I want to talk about that field goal attempt here after this play. 2nd down and 10. There's a look at the senior, 6'6", 200 pounds. Jarrett Pilata. He's back. Ball in the air and intended for Bollier out at the 35-yard line and off the mark. You know, that last field goal attempt sailed to the right. There was some contact with the field goal kicker. What did you see in there?
I don't know if they felt that he was blocked into him or not, but you know, Jarrett just a little bit off. They're running the smash concept with a hitch on by the outside receiver and the safety coming over the top. Zach Bowler running a corner route and just not a lot of room to drop the ball in there. Good coverage by the Hoover defense.
So a 3rd down and 10 now. After 2 incompletions, trips to the far side. This prolific Jackson offense has been stuck in neutral here tonight so far. And Pilata back. Looks, he'll let it fly. Childers has it, and he is cut down immediately at the 20-yard line. Coming over and making a big hit.
Ben Smith, number 3.
Yep. And we're going to make this play a SARTA pinpoint play of the game nominee as Smith came over and just cut him down immediately, Jim.
It was man-to-man coverage, and the linebacker Smith did a nice job of staying out on the running back. Childers just ran a flat route out of the backfield, a swing route, and did a nice job of not keeping his eyes inside, followed his man, and great open field tackle, and another stop for Hoover's defense.
At the end of tonight's ball game, we'll select our SARTA pinpoint play of the game from some of the plays throughout our contest here tonight. So it's again a punting situation for Jackson. Bob, how many punts tonight for the Polar Bears so far? Or this will be number 4 coming up.
But 3 turnovers too.
Trey Wright in punt formation. David Forrest back at his own 40 for Hoover.
Hoover could get really good field position here.
Wright gets it away. Forrest handles it at the 42. That's a fair catch, and he'll make it. So Hoover has the football. The Vikings have 2 timeouts and 2:09 remaining here in the first half. Hey, don't forget, following our coverage of the McKinley-Massillon game on Saturday afternoon, 1480 WHBC Sports will join the Ohio State-Penn State game in Columbus. Join it in progress as the number 6 Buckeyes take on the number 2 Nittany Lions from the Horseshoe in Columbus. Ohio State football all season long on 1480 WHBC.
Man, that's going to be a fun ball game.
You bet.
Hopefully the Ohio State offense that's been playing the last 4 weeks shows up for that one.
Keller going to roll right. Looking, lets it fly. And
Dropped.
Incomplete. That was Hubbard over there at the 48-yard line. Could not haul it in.
There's bad spacing on that route by the Hoover wide receivers. They were running a 3-man concept called the flood concept, where the outside receiver to outside the numbers runs a go route to try and get the corner out. Number 2 inside runs like a 10-yard banana out. Then the closest slot runs a 5-yard out, but the 5-yard out pushed up a little deeper, pushed that flat defender back in between both of them where he could guard both of them. Not a clear passing lane, and a tough throw and catch that wasn't able to be executed.
Keller running out of trouble. 45-50. Still on his feet. Keller with a great run down inside the 40-yard line. It's a first down for Hoover. Boy, he broke how many tackles on that run?
I think 4 or 5. What a tremendous run by John Keller. Just shows the type of athlete that he is. Nice job keeping his eyes down the field. Good cutback. There's 1 and 2 and 3. And
the 4th got him.
4th got him.
Keller throws for Nist, incomplete at the 35-yard line.
Somebody might have got a hand on that from behind. Ball was really short. It was only a 6-yard hitch route, spot route.
Stops the clock with 1:37 left. Again, the Vikings still with 2 timeouts in their back pocket for Coach Brian Baum and his staff.
Plenty of time to go down and score. Ideally for Hoover right here, you go down and get a touchdown, go up 21-0 with all the momentum, then come back out, start second half, and get the ball to start.
Keller back. He'll throw. And again, off the mark. Drew Johnson, the intended receiver, but a little bit low and away from him.
Just a poorly thrown ball. It had what he wanted on a crossing route. Jackson's linebackers are dropping out of there, especially after they hit that deep route early in the first quarter. And Johnny just threw it low and away. Got to drive off that back leg a little more, generate a little bit more velocity.
3rd and 10. Keller is not going to have a whole lot of running room, and a good stop up front by Jackson's Joe Ackerman, number 70, a 6'3" sophomore D lineman. And a loss of about a yard back to the 39. It's 4th down. Hoover letting the clock roll. Jackson has 2 timeouts, and Coach Bud electing not to use one right now.
If I'm Hoover, I may try a snap down by the offensive line to see if we can get Jackson to jump off sides and make it 4th and 6.
And then you'll think about going for it. Huh?
Exactly.
It's 4th and 11 right now at the 39. Letting that play clock wind down to 3, 2, 1. And they're going to have Coach Baum call a timeout with 1 second to go on that play clock. And he'll call his troops over to that far side. Glad you're with us on our 1480 WHBC Sports TV replay game of the week. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, Frank Salona on the sideline, and of course our statistician Bob Jeffries here tonight at Hoover. Well, coming up on Sunday, the Cleveland Browns are in London, and they'll be battling the Minnesota Vikings. The pregame and the game action starts at 9:30. That's 9:30 on Sunday. Minnesota and the Browns. Your home for Browns football all season long. 1480 WHBC Sports. And Jim, I don't want to be negative. I just don't see any way the Browns are going to beat the Vikings this Sunday either. They're going to be 0-8.
It's just painful.
It is painful.
I mean,
it
it's
hurts.
just really painful. Did you see what LeBron said the other day? I've never been 1-23 in anything.
He speaks the truth. So Rykowski to punt near midfield. He'll kick it away from Kulich, although Kulich gets over there, and it's going to roll down inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Placed beautifully by Rykowski, so Jackson will be backed up. They do have 2 timeouts, but now just 24 seconds left.
With a sore shoulder and a beat up quarterback, you take a knee and regroup and try and figure out what they're going to do in the second half. I don't see them really trying to do anything but kneel the ball down here, especially on your own 6.
So at the 6-yard line, Jackson has the football. And again, if you're just joining us, 3 turnovers here in the first half by Jackson, 1 for Hoover. And the Hoover defense pitching a shutout here so far. So it looks like Pilata's just going to come up under center and take a knee here. And that's exactly what he does. And that is going to mark the end of the first half as the clock is going to wind down. And the Hoover faithful on the far side here at North Canton Memorial Stadium, they are loving it. Their Vikings with a dominating performance so far here at the half. Hoover leading Jackson by a score of 14-0 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Stick around. We'll see both bands coming up after these messages. And this one is going to sail well out of bounds. That'll be a penalty against the Polar Bears. So the Hoover Vikings will get the football in excellent field position to start the second half.
Not the way you want to start if you're Jackson. Kicking the ball out of bounds to start the second half. You got Hoover, who's already up 14-0 to start the second half, and the ball. And then what you do is you give a really good offense, great field position to start the second half at the 35-yard line.
First down and 10 for Hoover at their own 35-yard line. The Vikings coming in at 4-5, and with a win tonight would put themselves in position for a possible playoff berth. Now, we were kind of talking about this at halftime. Ball comes out, and Childers recovers it at the 42-yard line. A turnover, the second of the night for the Vikings. And we'll make this play a SARTA pinpoint play of the game nominee as the ball is fumbled by Rykowski. And back to that thought quickly, Jim. The Vikings win. It's not automatic that they get in, but they're going to put themselves in great position.
Yep. And you see the ball in the right arm. The ball should be in the left arm, and what happens? It gets ripped out. You know what's crazy, and I don't think I've ever seen it. Luke Rykowski fumbled the ball the first play of the second half against McKinley. And then today, first play, second half, he fumbled the ball again.
And it's Childers straight ahead, and Childers with a yard maybe to the 40-yard line. Pickup of a yard on first down, 2nd and 9.
Fundamentals, Dave.
Yeah.
If you run to the left, carry the ball in the left arm. If you run the ball to the right, keep the ball in the right arm. We talk about it every week. My 7-year-old does that, playing flag.
Pilata back looking. He is under pressure, and he is going to go down back near midfield. Pilata is sacked. And for more on Pilata, let's go down the sideline and check in with Frank Salona. Frank?
All right, guys. Well, you know, I was watching Jared Pilata here coming out for the half, and he was really still favoring that left shoulder. I asked the folks around the bench area. They said that, you know, he's been bothered by the left shoulder throughout the year. He aggravated again tonight. Probably going to still play, but I wouldn't expect him to run too much or take too many hits on that left side.
Thanks, Frank. That report brought to you by SARTA. Go to SARTAonline.com. 3rd down and 15. Pilata guns it over the middle. Boyer has it. Boyer to the 25, to the 20. Turns the corner. Boyer banged out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. And Pilata up off the deck, JB, with a laser.
A shot down the middle. Big time play. Much needed for that Polar Bear offense. Picked up a great block outside by number 9, Brandon O'Quinn. Excuse me, number 11. Bowler.
Boyer, yeah.
Just a crossing route in between those safeties, playing man-to-man. See the block right there by number 11, Brandon O'Quinn. Just getting a piece of him, getting in his way.
We're going to make that play a Friends and Family Credit Union rock-solid offensive play of the game nominee. And Childers on 1st down in the Walsh University red zone. Takes the ball down to the 5-yard line.
What a great tackle by number 4, Cam Logan. The lax stick banger commit. Hartford, I believe. Big, strong defensive end.
2nd down and goal at the Hoover 5. Jackson trying to get back in the game. Childers straight ahead. Childers to the 4, and that's it. Stacked up and pushed back. Ben Smith, the inside linebacker in the middle of that scrum, the 6'1" senior.
Nice job coming off the blocks by the defensive lineman.
Yeah, he had a lot of help.
Sure did. A lot of black shirts.
At the 4. It's 3rd down and goal. Pilata back. Looking. He'll throw to the end zone. Tipped. Incomplete. And there is a flag on the play. Incomplete, and we've got a holding penalty against Jackson. I am going to guess that they'll.
Well, what do? If you decline it? If you decline it, it's 4th down from the 4.
Yeah.
But if you take it, you give Jackson another play with more room.
Yep. Looks like they're going to decline it.
Great coverage.
Very close. Yeah.
Great coverage by David Forrest on that crossing route on Zach Bowyer.
Well,
Jackson going to line up and go for it.
Jackson not even thinking field goal here.
It's early in the 3rd quarter, a lot of time left. If you don't make it, you force Hoover's offense to try and pick up a couple 1st downs. Otherwise, you force them to punt and give you back a short field.
4th and goal at the 4. Pilata, and now we've got a timeout. A timeout taken by Hoover.
That was on Jackson.
Hoover with a 14-0 lead. Scoreboard says that Hoover called the timeout.
The referee said
that it was Jackson.
What they have there is a failure to communicate.
Hey, while we have a moment, you know, on Friday nights there are just so many games, and sometimes it can be hard to keep up, but that is certainly not the case anymore because 1480 WHBC Sports can help you. There is no better way to keep up with all the high school football scores across Stark County than with the award-winning Altman Hart Center ticker. Go to WHBCSports.com for updates or to download the app on your phone. The Altman Hart Center ticker. All right, scoreboard still says Hoover called the timeout, but we'll kind of keep an eye on that. So it's 4th down and goal at the Vikings 4. Trips to the near side. Pilata back, looking right, throws middle. Bowyer has it, touchdown.
I was wondering if he's going to see him. They ran the bunch set. Little confusion with Hoover's defense. Zach just went right up the seam. Nobody was around him. Pilata moved a little bit. I think he was looking to another receiver, got his eyes back and threw a shot in the back of the end zone to Zach Bowyer. Little movement, boom, off his back foot too. Nice job of corralling that ball for Zach Bowyer.
Josh Fellman on to attempt the extra point. The 6-foot senior. Kick up. Kick is good. Timeout on the field, 9:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We've got a ball game. It's Hoover 14, Jackson 7 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Back here at Hoover. And the Polar Bear cheerleaders are celebrating Jackson's touchdown moments ago. Jackson trailing now 14-7. And let's take a look at that Polar Bear scoring drive, Jim.
7 plays, 41 yards. It was a 4-yard strike from Jarrett Pilata to Zach Bollier. Extra point was good. A much needed touchdown for the Polar Bears. And it was the fumble by Rakowski to start the second half that led to the 7 points for the Polar Bears.
Yep, you're right. A deep kick fielded at the 4. This is Hobart to the 10. Hobart cut down as he stretches to the 13-yard line. Good kick coverage there by Jackson. And now you can feel that little bit of momentum
I was
shift.
going to say, you can feel that purple tenacity right down below us. We're on the visiting side up in the press box. And you can feel the tables turning, like you said, Dave. You know what I like? We talked about Childers on offense and defense as a player to watch. Watch him come right into your screen. Boom! Pulled him down. Special teams tackle. Doing it in all 3 phases of the game tonight.
Actually, that time that was Shatrich on the stop. And now a penalty against Hoover. And boy, just like that, the tables have turned. And the ball is marked now back at the 7. Throws over the middle and incomplete. And that time a little miscommunication between Keller and I think it was Johnson, right? The intended receiver, Jim?
Yes, it was. It was an RPO, and Johnson forgot the PO. He's going down the block.
Oh, it hit him in the back.
Hit him in the back. It was a good read by John Keller. The linebacker came up to support for run, had a nice angle to throw the ball, and he just never turned and looked.
Keller rolling, pressure, screen back the other way. Rykowski got a block. Rykowski, good running room, and he takes it out to the 20 and close to the 21-yard line, and they get a big chunk back, and now a 3rd down and manageable.
Sure is. Really well-designed play call. You sprint them all the way to the left and turn them back and throw a screen back to the right. Nice catch by Rykowski. See the athleticism, breaking a couple tackles, getting into that second level to set up a 3rd and short.
Another great job by our camera crew, sideline cameraman, and our great crew tonight. Keller going to keep 1st down and more. Johnny Keller across the 30. And it's a Wacom Auto Group 1st down. And boy, Hoover overcomes the penalty. They get the 1st down and they keep the football.
Big 1st down to just slow down that momentum a little bit. A little quarterback sweep and nice lead block by Rakowski. Give him an IHOP coupon for a pancake on that block.
Keller gives to Rykowski straight ahead. Rykowski runs into the pile, advances it to the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Second down and 7. Keller fakes, ball in the air as a man open. It's caught. Nist has it. Nist down to the Jackson 40-yard line. And again, Jim, you talked about this in the first half. They kind of lull you to sleep with that power running game, and then all of a sudden they'll hit you deep.
They got some guys that can blow the top off, and Brady Nist is one of them. Nice play action pass here, pulled back, got a fade route on the outside, one-on-one coverage.
Rykowski on the carry, back to live action. Ball comes out again. Jackson is signaling they have it. Oh, this time no. The official says that Rykowski was down.
Ooh, we need to see the replay on that.
Unfortunately, we don't have another look at that. Now they're huddling, though. That's good news for Jackson if they're going to discuss it. Lots of times you'll see a call overturned. Nope, they're going to say the ball is going to remain with the Vikings. Tim Budd out on the field, not happy. The Jackson head coach there, you see him talking to the official. So the play will stand, a gain of 9 yards, 2nd down and 1 with just over 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Things are heating up here at Don Hertler Senior Field. Rykowski again, and progress, and then shoved back. It's going to be enough for a first down, I believe.
It's the one knock on Rykowski is that he will put the ball on the ground.
That's another Wacom Auto Group first down.
You know, we saw him against McKinley put the ball on the ground twice, and McKinley ended up winning that ball game. Both those turnovers led to touchdowns.
Ball is at the 30-yard line. Keller back. Here comes the heat. Throws to the end zone. Got a man, Hubbard. He's got it. Touchdown.
What a tremendous throw by John Keller. Man, did he take a shot off the blind side. Delivered a strike with a guy right under his chin.
And we will make this play another nominee for our Friends and Family Credit Union rock solid offensive play of the game. Keller to Hobart. Here it is, Jim.
You're staring down the gun barrel. You can see John knew it was coming, and he drops a dime in between the corner and over top the safety.
We'll pick our Friends and Family Credit Union rock solid offensive play of the game in our wrap-up report later on tonight. Jonah Klein on to attempt the extra point. Kick up. Kick is good.
And that kick is good. And with 6:36 left in the third quarter, the Hoover Vikings 21, Jackson Hoover 7.
So the Vikings respond with a big touchdown of their own, as you're going to see it again.
Right on the money. Great throw.
Hubbard knew he was going to get hit. Nice concentration. We've got a timeout on the field with 6:36 remaining here in the third. It's Hoover 21 and Jackson 7. Back at North Canton Memorial Stadium, Hoover on top of Jackson 21-7. 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, Frank Salona, statistician Bob Jeffries, and that impressive Viking scoring drive, Jim.
8 plays, 87 yards. Took about 2:45 off the clock. It was a 30-yard strike from John Keller to Hobart. The extra point was good. 21-7 Hoover.
Bollier at the 3. 15. And Bollier cut down short of the 20-yard line. Good special teams play here tonight so far, huh?
Yeah, there has been really good kick coverage, and Hoover brought that the first from the opening kickoff. They pinned Jackson down deep.
So Jackson will come back out trailing by 2 touchdowns.
What a turn of events if you're Jackson with the fumble, no fumble.
Yeah.
You know, Jackson picks that ball up. It's 14-7. They got the ball. Hoover gets the ball back on maybe a missed call, maybe not. And Hoover takes the ball down and score. Could be a 14-point swing.
First down and 10 at the 19 for the Polar Bears. Pilata fakes. Ball in the air, looking for Bollier. He was open, but overshot him by just a step. Coverage on the play by Will Reisinger.
You know, Hoover's defense has done an unbelievable job shutting down the big play wide receiver, Brandon O'Quinn. The only thing he's caught was a shovel pass underneath for a couple yards. Is the only reception in the first half. They're putting a guy over top him, manning up, and then they got safety help over top, so he's seeing double coverage all night long.
And looks like they're going to try and set up a screen, and Pilata is going to just throw it away, avoiding the sack. And again, Hoover's defense, they smelled it out, didn't they?
Yeah, J.R. Rupert, number 31, coming from his linebacker spot, smelling screen all the way. Wasn't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Yeah, they just had it covered, and Jared does a smart thing. They got 3 guys around that receiver, and all you can do is just throw it away and regroup and hope for a better play on third down. But Hoover lining up for blitz again off the edge.
Number
Here they
4,
come.
Cam Logan applying pressure moments ago. Pilata over the middle. Great catch made at the 35-yard line.
Wow, what a throw and catch.
Making the grab, number 2, Ethan Kulich for the Polar Bears. It's a Wacom Auto Group first down for Jackson.
Sticking that foot in the ground and ripping it before he breaks. That's an option route by Kulich. He can either break it to the corner or the post, depending on what the coverage does. Jared doing a good job of anticipating the throw and throwing it with velocity and confidence.
Gallagher was right there for the stop. Childers stacked up and shoved back. Ben Smith and Reisinger combining on the stop that time for Hoover.
Caving him down, but number 31 and then number 3. 31 gets back in. All kinds of Hoover Vikings in on the tackle.
Second down and 7.
Smith.
Yep.
Playing outstanding defense today.
Ball at the 40-yard line. Pilata back. Here comes pressure. Going to roll. Going to keep. Going for that sideline and gets out of bounds out near the 45-yard line.
Looking right. Pretty good protection up front by the big fellas. Jared not seeing anything down the field. Does a nice job of getting out of bounds, not taking any unnecessary shots, and nice gain, and third and manageable.
Third down and a long 2. Back is Pilata. Here comes pressure. Rolling. Throws. Incomplete. O'Quinn, the intended receiver, at the 48-yard line of Hoover. A little underthrown. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here comes the punt team for Jackson. It's a long throw from that far left hash.
Yeah, it is.
Really, he couldn't even get his shoulders back. He's trying to throw that from the left hash all the way back to the right hash, and that's a long throw against your body. Just wasn't able to get enough on it for Brandon O'Quinn to be able to scoop that up off the turf.
Here's Trey Wright to punt. He has had a huge night, and again, he's got the wind behind him. David Forrest back deep to attempt to return the punt. He's standing near his 15.
Little snap down here, maybe trying to get him to jump.
4th and 2. A high floating kick. Forrest to haul it in. Ball is loose, but he falls on it inside the 20-yard line. Yikes.
A lot of pacemakers going crazy tonight in the stands, partner. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
A lot of drop balls, a lot of balls on the turf, interceptions.
Hey, don't forget, coming up at the end of tonight's game, it's the Jersey's All-American Sports Grill wrap-up report. The area's best stop for food, fun, and entertainment is Jersey's All-American Sports Grill, with locations in Canton, Belden Village, and Greene. Jersey's proud sponsor of our wrap-up report. Let's show you that near disaster if you're a Vikings fan.
I'll tell you what, unless I'm up in Canada where they got to give you 5 yards to catch the punt, I do not want to return punts. In Canada,
Right.
you got to have a 5-yard bubble.
Rykowski on the carry.
What they call it, punt interference. You're a little different up there,
A 4-yard gain for Rykowski. 2nd and 6 coming up now. Clock rolling. 4.5 minutes left here in the third. Hoover 21-7. Now you look at this Hoover record, Jim. 4-5, but in all 5 losses, the margin of loss has been no greater than 8 points, and that was to McKinley.
Been in every ball game.
Every game.
Lost the tough one last week to Bishop Watterson. Traditional playoff team. Very good program.
Rykowski carries. Rykowski close to a first down. Ball is going to be marked at the 26, so you're looking at a 3rd down and 2. And a big play for both teams. Jackson fans in front of us know how big a play this is. They're making some noise.
Big fella Xavier Gray. The 6'9", 430-pound D tackle getting in on that tackle in the last play. I just like saying 6'9", 430.
I know you do. That's okay. It's okay.
How could
Nothing
you
wrong
not?
with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Rykowski with 85 yards. Keller going to keep a first down and more. John Keller with running room. Keeps his feet all the way out to near midfield, and it's a Wacom Auto Group first down. And if nothing else, I remember Coach Ed Glass telling me you flip the field, and you're talking about field position.
Yes, that's exactly right. If nothing else, you want to try and get the ball to the 35-yard line. A lot better on this play. Just a quarterback sweep, another good kick-out block by Rakowski. The right side of that offensive line doing an outstanding job. Luke Vanist, Joe Boron, Zach Goddard at the center position, dominating the line of scrimmage for a big pickup. That carry will put John Keller over 100 yards for the night, 12 carries for 118.
Rakowski straight ahead and some tough yards to the 44. That's a gain of 3. And there is a player down. Is that Rakowski? Sure looks like it. They're going to attend to him. Stops the clock with 3:12 remaining here in the third quarter. We're going to try to show this one to you again.
Oh, Xavier Gray. Good initial contact. Couldn't really see, but you can see Rakowski is still down and struggling a little bit. Might have got the wind knocked out of him.
Very possible. While we have a moment, I want to remind you on 1480 WHBC, tomorrow is a huge day. We begin with our annual 1480 WHBC tailgate party. It's a special edition of the week that was with Joe Palmisano, yours truly, along with Kenny, John, and all the sports guys. We'll get together at Jersey's on Fulton from 8 to 11. Don't forget the special edition of the AltCare Stadium show then from noon until 2. And then game time at 2 o'clock. McKinley and Massillon both on the radio, on WHBC.com, and of course live TV. That's coming up on Saturday. Rakowski off the field now. Keller in trouble, being chased, and he is going to go down back at midfield. Great coverage in the secondary. And now we've got an injured Jackson player down. Back at the 48-yard line.
Just a slam boot, and good job staying home by Hayden Junker. And I believe it was the defensive lineman. I can see him grab his shin. I think that's number 72. Is that
sure.
Max Russo? I
Sure.
can't tell.
Yep. Tim Budd on the Jackson sideline there.
Yeah, that's Russo.
That is Russo, the injured Jackson player.
Russo for 72.
Yep, Max Russo, a 6'2 junior. Not putting any weight on that right leg right now.
I've seen a lot of guys get rolled up. Man, I watched the Monday night game, and I saw 3 or 4 guys get rolled up on. You know, Jason Peters, the all-pro left tackle for Philadelphia, out for the season. Saw at least 3 linemen for the Redskins getting rotated in and out, for ankles getting rolled up on. Been a bad week for that kind of thing.
3rd down and 12. We will check in with Frank Salona momentarily. He's got an update on the Luke Rakowski injury. He's back out there.
Tough kid, man. He's a wrestler.
We'll check on that. We'll hear from Frank in a moment. From midfield, back, looking, Keller in trouble, throws, intercepted, and knocked out the 40-yard line, picked off by Chad Leffel, the linebacker, and a huge turnover.
Just a bad throw.
We're going to make
Very
this
ill-advised.
a nominee. I should say not a nominee. This is a Fresh Time Farmers Market pick. Fresh Time Farmers Market. Check out Fresh Time for all your local grocery needs. Located on Dressler Road next to Value City Furniture, Jim.
Yeah, just a lot of duress, and it's one of those plays that if you're under duress that bad, just eat it. Go to the ground. Don't force anything else. Don't turn the ball over. Don't give a team back momentum when you're up 21-7 at home with less than 3 minutes. Now you're putting a Jackson offense in 4-down territory for sure here.
Leffel, a 5'9" senior quarterback with the pick. Pilata ball on the ground, and Hoover falls on it. J.R. Rupert, the sophomore linebacker, came diving through, fell on the football, and back-to-back turnovers. And before we go any further, let's check in with Frank Salona on that Hoover sideline now. Frank?
All right, guys. Well, you called it. Luke Rykowski is fine. He just landed awkwardly on his leg. They looked after him for a few minutes. He said, I'm fine. He got back up and went back out there, so he's a tough kid.
Thank you, Frank. And you mentioned that. So, JB, back-to-back turnovers here.
I'm speechless. 7 turnovers in less than 3 quarters is not what I anticipated coming into this ball game.
Pass to Rykowski. He's got it, and he'll go down. No gain as he takes it back to the 44, the line of scrimmage. Jackson's defense makes a stop. Rykowski, you can see he's toughing it out,
a little
right?
bit, man. I'll tell you what,
tough it out.
There are going to be a lot of sore kids tomorrow.
This, and you get the idea watching on TV, but being here, this is a very physical football game.
And we're talking about kids they're big kids. They're 250, 260, 280.
Keller on the keep. Keller is going to be knocked down, and coming in and making a great play was the corner, Ethan Coolidge.
Sure was. Great job avoiding that block.
Yeah. So no gain. Back-to-back plays.
See him coming in your screen, and nice open field tackle. Just ragdolled him. Sets up a 3rd and long. If I'm Jackson, I'm dialing up a blitz. Coach Rohr, Jackson guy, linebacker himself back in the day. Akron U had a heck of a career with the Zips, calling the plays for the Polar Bears.
Minute and a half to go here in the 3rd quarter, and a timeout taken by the Hoover Vikings with 1:25 left in the quarter. Brian Baum there on your screen. Going to have his offense talk it over. And while we have a timeout, don't forget, coming up in our wrap-up report following tonight's game, the Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game will be announced.
Who gonna eat? Who gonna eat tonight?
Carolina Barbecue, original barbecue, authentic taste, serving Stark and surrounding areas, and wishing a good luck to all of the local high school football teams this season. Our Player of the Game gets a $25 gift card, courtesy of the Old Carolina Barbecue. And so far, without question, there's nobody in the clubhouse as far as the Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
Because the game is still in the balance.
In the balance.
Right, Jay?
With these offenses, they can score in bunches.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the way the defenses are going, they can create turnovers in bunches. There's only been 7 of them in 3 quarters.
So right. 3rd down and 10 at the 44. And now a flag comes in, and movement up front by Hoover. That's going to cost them 5.
Boy, is that frustrating if you're a Hoover Viking. You call a timeout on a 3rd and 11. You talk it over with the guys. You put together the play call that you want. You line up, and you move. Now you're 3rd and 16. A lot tougher to call plays for 3rd and 16 than 3rd and 11.
Ball is at the 39-yard line.
Gotta love the Polar Bear cheerleaders yelling at us with their big white bullhorns down on the sideline.
Yeah.
Trying to get the Jackson fans pumped up.
Keller going to keep. Keller gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 44. It's going to bring up 4th down and 10.
I'll tell you what, after that last possession, John Keller throwing an errant interception, pretty safe play call there to just say, you know what, we're up 21-7. Let's get our punter in the ball game. Rykowski's had a tremendous night punting the football. Had two kicks at 51 yards, another one inside the 6-yard line. Let's punt the ball and make them drive the ball in our defense, which Jackson has not done all night.
Ethan Coolidge back. Rykowski, a low line drive. Coolidge fields at the 20. 25. Breaks a couple of tackles.
He's got a wall.
On the sideline.
Oh, there's a flag.
Yep. He was tackled clearly out of bounds.
Flags flying like birds.
Yep.
They're everywhere. Easy call for the officials. 6 yards out of bounds. Just unnecessary and very undisciplined.
Yep. You have to know where you are on the field.
It's a rivalry game, but you got to keep your head, and you just can't take those shots on guys.
Nice return regardless.
He broke that tackle right there, and I could see the white jerseys, and he just got tripped up. Yeah, he took his knees out. You can see he's outside the white line on the Jackson sideline. You're going to get that. You're going to get called for that every time.
Jackson is going to start this drive in Hoover territory, Jim, at the 45. Still a lot of time. Late third quarter. Jackson trailing 21-7 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard.
I'm still looking for number 11, Brandon O'Quinn, to come up with a big play in this ball game. They've done a nice job of slowing him down. Jake Pilata, it should be Jarrett Pilata. Jake's at Dartmouth, but he's 5 for 16 for 66.
This is Childers with running room, and Childers right near that first down marker. It's going to be a Wacom Auto Group first down to the 35-yard line.
They can just beat you with so many weapons. You got Childers running the ball. You got Brandon O'Quinn with 9 touchdowns on the year. Zach Bollier with 7 touchdowns. Childers with 17 touchdowns on the season.
Will Reisinger on the tackle. And to give to Childers again, left side, he's got a hole. Childers to the 30. Childers to the 25. A flag comes in, and you may have a face mask at the end of this play, which will add even more.
I see the Hoover sideline pointing at Jackson.
Well,
I'm unclear what this call is going to be. I don't know if Childers got his hand in a face mask when he's trying to use the stiff arm. Or...
Yeah. Maybe it was Childers who put the hand in the opponent face mask. See if we can see this. Oh, yeah, it looks like he did.
He got that right arm in the mask.
Is that just a 5-yard penalty?
The lesser degree of face mask, not the personal. Must have just got his hand there a little bit and must have let up, but just enough to get the call.
After the penalty, first down, and we'll call it 7. Give to Childers. Childers, tough yards, picks up a few more, takes it to the 29. And that is going to mark the end of the third quarter. Tighten up that belt strap, folks. We've got a fourth quarter that promises an awful lot on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. It's Hoover 21 and Jackson 7. The fourth quarter is next. Back at North Canton Memorial Stadium, Don Hertler Senior Field. We start the fourth quarter. Jackson with a football and a 2nd down and 5, and Pilata's going to go back. He's going to look, throws middle, has a man open. It's caught. Touchdown to Bollier. Right on the money, Jim.
Great touch by the big kid, Jarrett Pilata. Zach Bollier doing a nice job shaking free of man-to-man coverage. No safety help over the top, and just lay it up high early, give him a chance, and that's what he did.
Another Friends and Family Credit Union Rock Solid Offensive Play of the Game nominee.
Just a dime over the top of number 88. Will Reisinger wasn't able to get there.
Josh Fellman on to attempt the extra point now. Kick up, and it is good. Boy, we've got a lot of plays to choose from tonight.
Doggy.
A lot of awards.
Strap it in, partner. Going to be a great 11:54 left. Isn't this the way it should be? Week 10, rivalry week, man. Jackson and Hoover, McKinley, Massillon tomorrow.
Yep.
Get excited. Ohio State, Penn State, and the Browns and the Vikings. Who on Sunday?
Are they playing on Sunday? Right?
Woo. Man.
Jared Pilata on that Jackson sideline has the Polar Bears within 7 now, 21-14 at the early stages here in the fourth quarter. Glad you're with us on our 1480 WHBC TV replay game of the week. And Jackson set to kick off. McKinley and Massillon tomorrow, as Jim mentioned, from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The 128th meeting.
That's crazy. And a high school rivalry, like it's the biggest, longest high school rivalry in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, it gets written about in Sports Illustrated. The history of both the programs, and what Paul Brown did for the game, and all the coaches that have come through there. It's phenomenal.
How about that Jackson drive?
It was quick, 4 plays, 45 yards. It was a 29-yard dime from Jarrett Pilata to Zach Bollier. 21-14 Hoover.
It's Forrest at the 10, 15, 20, running room, and out near the 30. Cut down. Jackson on defense now. Hoover with pretty good field position to start this drive. Now Hoover has to respond.
It's starting to turn into a little bit of a shootout, partner.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it's tough to keep both these offenses down because they're both so dynamic. They can do it on the ground and or the air.
At the 29-yard line, Johnson in motion to give to Rykowski straight ahead. Rykowski with a little bit of room as he pops through that line and takes it out to the 35. That's 6 yards on first down.
What you don't want to do if you're Hoover is try and sit on the ball a little early and just try to run and not throw because there's just so much time left. Good job by the left side of Hoover's offensive line. They've done a tremendous job. Gary Gates and Stephen Pope getting it done. Goddard at center.
Defensive tackle Nate Horton, number 73, with the stop. Rykowski again, straight ahead. Bounces it outside. Look at Luke Rykowski go all the way into Jackson territory to the 48-yard line, picking up another Wacom Auto Group first down.
Running a lot behind the left side of that offensive line. Just all Rykowski. I'm telling you, though, that ball's going to get stripped again. He's running to the left with the ball in the right arm. Their ball's going to get punched out. You're going to see Jackson to continue to try and tackle the ball. Tremendous ball game tonight for Luke Rykowski. As you can see on your screen, he's over 100 yards with 113 yards on 25 carries.
Rykowski 111 yards a week ago over the Century Mark again tonight. Keller straight ahead, spins. Keller knocked down and maybe a yard to the 46. Made a nice spin move, but did not find any open area and was brought down. Week 10 of the high school football season. Playoffs looming next week. Tune into WHBC and WHBC.com early next week. We'll announce our playoff coverage for you. Rykowski carries inside the 45, gets it down near the 42-yard line. And you're looking now at a 3rd down and 5 play, Jim.
Big call right here. See if Jackson's defense can stand. Just a lead up front, cut it back inside, and smothered by Jackson's defense.
Chandler Kurtz on the tackle that time.
Jackson's fans getting up on their feet.
Yeah.
Probably hear it at home. Exciting ball game. Big play here.
42. Keller looks. Throws it out to Haubert to the 40. Haubert, first down and more. Haubert's off to the races. There's a flag down. Haubert is going to take it in.
He's coming back with a hold on the wide receiver on the edge. A little too aggressive. Got the hands outside the pads.
Yep,
really well executed. I like the play call, Dave,
yep,
because it's a 3-way read. We talked about this play early in the ball game where they can give it to Rykowski. Keller can run it as he's done so well tonight. Or if the outside backer collapses down inside like he did on that play, he throws it out to the bubble. Just had a hold on the outside by the wide receiver. I believe it was number 14. He got flagged. Brady Nist. As you can see, John doing a good job of bringing him inside right. Nah, maybe not. I hope that wasn't the hole because that was a bad call if it was.
Sure didn't look like it from there.
Did you?
That's where the flag was.
Woo.
Yeah.
Is that a makeup call for the fumble, no fumble?
Why do you even go there?
I don't know. I'm that guy.
He's a quarterback. He's a former quarterback.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
3rd down and 10. Keller back. Going for it all. Picked off and then dropped by Childers at the 30. It was intended for Nist, and Childers, give him credit. He came over, anticipated the throw, and made a great play. Wow.
Had everything you want but the finish.
Yeah. It's 4th down, and Hoover is going to punt.
I don't think he ever saw him. The ball was badly underthrown. And that's a ball that Childers would love to have back, because if he catches that in stride up the left sideline, it's going to be a foot race to see if he catches him.
So Rykowski to punt near his 40. And Coolidge back at the 15.
Coolidge needs to back up a little bit because Rykowski's been booming the ball a little bit.
4th down and 10. Rykowski smokes it, and it'll go quickly into the end zone. A touchback coming up, and Jackson's offense gets the ball back.
Big stop by the Polar Bears.
Timeout on the field with 9:19 left. Hoover 21, Jackson 14 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Back here at North Canton, 1st down and 10 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hoover on top of Jackson, 21-14. Pilata gives it off to Childers. Childers to the 20. Childers to the 25. Breaks the tackle. Childers all the way out to the 35. A flag comes in late. We may have a face mask tacked on. We'll see.
Or a horsey collar. Get him around the neck, maybe.
Right there.
There. He got the whole little horsey collar.
But he caught the face mask first, very briefly, but he did. So that's an additional 5 yards. It's a Waikimato Group 1st down, regardless, out to the 41.
Right on top of it. Great call by the official. You can really feel the momentum just swinging towards the Polar Bears.
Bob Jeffries tells us Hoover now with 8 penalties in tonight's bunch. And Pilata gives it to Childers. Childers up the middle, spun around and then knocked down. And a nice play defensively by number 3, Ben Smith. And slow to get up, Mike Gallagher.
Running that GT scheme, pulling the backside guard tackle and doing a nice job of staying home. Benny Smith.
2nd down, and we'll call it 6 from the 45. And now another flag comes in. We're going to have movement against Jackson. Somebody on that line moved ahead of the snap. That'll cost him 5.
I'll adjust the play call here from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 10.
The official giveth and the official taketh away.
Those guys in the stripes will hurt a lot of feelings, man, on both sides.
Yeah.
The zebras will hurt.
2nd down and 11 from the 40-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go. In case you're wondering, Hoover with 1 timeout. Jackson has all 3. Back is Pilata. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Ball in the air. O'Quinn out there and incomplete. He was double covered in the end. Just missed hitting the speedy Brandon O'Quinn.
Had what he wanted. Going deep on the post route and just a little bit too far inside. If he'd have let him up the hash a little bit more, I think he would have been able to run under it for 6. But 3rd and 10. Big play call here.
Closer to 3rd and 11 at the 40. Trips to the far side. Pilata back. Good protection now. He'll run. He's got the whole field in front of him, but he lets it go. And Ryan has it.
What a catch by Ryan, and the interference called a boot. Just a 50-50 ball. Pilata laying up for the big, tall 6'2 receiver, Jake Ryan, going up and getting it over top number 9. Sam Bird, mismatch, 6'2 on 5'9.
Yep.
Big play.
The play stands.
Nice job extending the play, coming downhill, throwing just a 50-50 ball. Like I said, give him a chance to make a play. 6'2", 6'3", whatever he is, he went over top and got it. Big play for the Polar Bears.
And then the penalty afterwards puts it all the way down inside the 10. Jackson operating now in the Walsh University red zone. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. Jackson with a chance to tie it up with 8 minutes left. It's Childers running left side. Childers to the 5. He takes it in. Touchdown, Jackson. Joe Childers with a Jackson touchdown, and they are a point away from tying it up. The Polar Bears have come all the way back. They trailed 14-0. They trailed 21-7, and now they're a point away. Josh Feldman with the extra point attempt coming up.
135 yards for Childers on the game tonight.
Kick up, and it is good.
Completely support their teams. You know, the facilities are unbelievable. The emphasis on sports and academics is tremendous.
Ball is going to bounce at the 10, taken there on the return, out to near the 20-yard line. So the Vikings get the ball back. We're tied at 21 with under 8 minutes left in the ball game. Let's take a look at that Jackson scoring drive.
5 plays, 80 yards. The key play in that drive was the plot of 50-50 ball to Jake Bryan. 9-yard touchdown run by Childers, capped it off. All tied up at 21. Nice run by Rakowski.
Rakowski with the carry. Picks up about 7 yards on first down. Well, we've talked about this. Both of these teams have been tested throughout. Again, Hoover has 5 losses, all within 8 points. This is Rakowski, running room, and he pounds it out to the 35-yard line. That's a Wacom Auto Group first down for Hoover. And Rakowski getting up slow. He took another shot at the end of that
Man, he's
run.
playing both sides of the ball, too. He's going to be sore. He's carried the ball a lot. He's taken a lot of shots. Nice pull in your picture by number 77. Gary Gates leading him around for a nice gain. Offensive lines have played extremely well on both teams, pass protecting and run blocking.
Rakowski straight ahead. Rakowski moving the pile out to the 39. Again, I can't emphasize enough. 5'9", 190 pounds, and he's taken D linemen who are 60 and 70 pounds heavier than him and carrying them, taking them for a ride.
Yeah, it's not like Jackson's small on the defensive line. Even with big Xavier Gray out of the ball game at 6'9", 430, you still got Nate Horton, 275. Still got Junker, 235, 240.
Keller going to keep. Keller in trouble. Being surrounded now. He's going to try to get out of it. Being chased and swings out of it again to the 20, to the 25, and then hammered out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Shatrich coming up with a big stick. Maybe trying to do a little bit too much.
So a loss back to the 33. Right in your living room, Jim. Run for cover.
Yep. Little Fran Tarkenton a little bit right there. It's getting swung around, and Shatrich comes. Oh, good stick right there. Boom.
Yep.
Good stick to get him out of bounds finally. Tremendous effort by John Keller. He's really playing his heart out tonight.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 from the 33. One of the biggest plays of the night.
See if they go conservative. If they push the ball down the field a little bit.
Keller back. Left side throws. Incomplete. Not sure. Hobart was the closest. We've got a holding penalty coming up against Hoover. So obviously Jackson will decline it. They'll get the ball back. But Jim, your thoughts on that pass play?
I was, you know what, Dave? I was actually looking down the field a little bit. I don't know if we'll get a replay on that, but the ball was badly underthrown. Looked to me like miscommunication between John and his receivers. Looked like he was thinking in and he ran out, or vice versa.
Okay.
Nice pocket by the offensive line, and they just look off. I mean, I don't know what else to say besides you could see the frustration.
While we were away there, Jim, another penalty against Hoover.
The wheel's falling off right now. This is a big penalty of another 15 yards.
I think we've got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike. Yeah.
You just set this offense. It's on fire in this second half and really good field position. Going to put them in 4 down.
Yep.
Unless Rykowski
got to find a way to
another boomer.
Got to find a way to keep your composure. So the ball is marked at the 16. It's 4th down and 28. Rykowski gets it away. A high floater. Bouncing at the 45, and then it'll be down right there. So Jackson gets excellent field position. The penalties have become a factor against Hoover, no question.
Yeah, we talk about the 3 things. We talk about turnovers. They're winning that battle. Penalties, they're losing that battle. And sacks are plays for minus yardage. And in the second half, they've lost those 2 of those 3, which is why Jackson is back in this ball game.
Right. So here come the Polar Bears. They have never led. They're tied now with 6:06 to go at their own 45-yard line. They have the momentum, and they've got the football. Pallotta gives it to Childers. Straight ahead. Childers to the 50, to the 49, and moving that pile forward.
Scrum going forward. See the big offensive lineman behind the pile just trying to push him forward to pick up an extra couple yards.
6 more yards for Childers. 2nd down and 4 now at the Hoover 49. Under 6 minutes to go. What a ball game.
Halloween weekend, man. Strange things have happened.
Surprised you haven't gone into your Friday the 13th theme yet.
Game's not over yet, partner. It might be Halloween. I don't know.
And Childers again trying that left side, following some blocking. Childers to the 44. That is going to be another Wacom Auto Group 1st down for Jackson. Move the chains. Boy, they really like running behind that left side.
Yes, they do, and they've been running it there all night, and it's been very effective for them. Joe Childers having a monster ball game, building on the 5.5 yard per carry average he came into today's ball game with.
1st down. Pallotta throws, caught. Ryan steps out of a tackle. Ryan shoved out of bounds. Nearly stayed in bounds. It would have been 6. It's a Wacom Auto Group 1st down regardless.
Hoover on their heels, looking like Jackson did in the first half. It's an RPO, one-on-one on the outside, and oof.
Yep.
Good call by the officials.
Right there.
But an easy pitch and catch when the outside linebacker comes up on that run that they've done so well this whole second half.
Ball at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. And now Hoover jumped offside.
The crowd on the Hoover sideline looks like a picture. Everybody's so still and nobody's moving. It's like nobody can believe what's going on in the second half. And Hoover's just got to get their composure back and just start playing ball a little bit and stay in their lanes and make some tackles. Getting a little bit undisciplined with penalties in the second half.
It's a 1st down and 5 now at the 25. And now Brian Baum on that Hoover side calls for a timeout. Wants to talk to his defense.
Try and stop this bleeding here and just try and control his team and get their heads back on straight. And
1st and 5. The give to Childers. Starts right, cuts up middle, dives forward to the 28. Again, the scoreboard showing Hoover is out of timeouts. Jackson with all 3. They'll mark it at the 29. So a 2nd down and 4. Pallotta gives it off Childers left side. He's got running room to the 20. Childers cut down as he takes it to the 17. And it's going to be another Wacom Auto Group 1st down. And Jackson now operating in the Walsh University red zone. From field level.
You know, they're taking guys out of the box to double team Brandon O'Quinn. They're putting a corner over top, which is one less guy in the box, and they just keep pounding the ball to that left side where there's a single receiver, more blockers than there are defenders, and that's why you're seeing Jackson pick up so many yards to that left side.
They'll mark the ball at the 18. First down and 10. Clock becoming a factor now as we come up on 4 minutes to go. Childers, running room. Childers dives forward to down near the 12.
How many plays in a row is that now that they've run the ball to the left? Seriously, 5?
Well, just the play before they went right, but before that, all left side.
It's 90%, and even the pass that Jared Pilata threw, you see the guard and the tackle pulling in, double team inside, and they just don't have enough defenders outside. And Jackson's offensive line just grinding it out in this last 5 minutes of the ball game.
Ball just inside the 14. Second down and 6. Childers straight ahead. Childers with maybe a couple. Down near the 11.
Hoover getting lulled to sleep. Don't be surprised if Jared Pilata doesn't pull a ball out. I see him just bend over and stretch a little bit. I think he might be kicking himself for not pulling that. He does have the option to not only throw it, but if he sees at the backside end or linebacker is over pursuing, he can pull that ball, which he did last week. He had a 9-yard touchdown run against Green.
Yep. Third down and about 4 at the 11-yard line. Childers straight ahead. Childers dives down near the 5.
What a great cut. Jump cut in the middle of the hole, Dave, and linebacker blew by him. Otherwise, he would have been short of the first down.
It's a Wacom Auto Group first down. First down and goal for
right
Jackson.
There.
Yep.
You see him made the defender miss. Right in the hole, number 31 for Hoover, J.R. Rupert.
Smith with the tackle. It's first and goal at the 6. 2.5 to go. Hoover out of timeouts. Childers cuts it back left. Childers dives down near the 2.
God, is he running hard.
He is.
What a fun game. What a fun game if you're an offensive lineman right now. That's like 7 out of 8 running plays in a row. And the only reason they passed was because it was a run call, and he decided to pull it and throw it. Otherwise, we'd talk about 8 straight run plays.
Jackson operating in the Walsh University red zone.
What you want to do if you're the offensive Jackson right now is work that clock down and snap it with 1 second left.
Play clock now at 12.
Shorten the game. Hoover with no timeouts left right now, as it says on the scoreboard.
Yep. Second and goal at the 1. Give to Childers straight ahead. Oh my goodness, he was stood up and pushed back.
That actually works in Jackson's favor for getting tackled right there, because the clock continues to run.
Clock is running.
And you're going to see this.
Yeah, but you also get another opportunity to mess up the handoff exchange.
You're going to see. Yeah, that's true,
right.
but I think what you're going to see is, even with a bad shoulder, you might see Jared Pilata get under center and try and sneak this ball in behind the center.
Clock continues to run. Play clock is down to 8. Third down and 1. A third and goal at the 1. Pilata to Childers. Touchdown, Jackson. The Polar Bears were down 21-7. They have come all the way back with just over a minute to go. An exhausted Joe Childers takes it in, and the Polar Bears are on top, 27-21.
Nice block by number 64, Tyler Leininger, 6'2", 340-pound junior. Man, that's a lot of man. Laying it all on the line, senior Joe Childers, 32 carries, 171 tough yards.
And now Feldman's extra point up and good. Timeout on the field. 1:02 left in the game. Jackson 28, Hoover 21. We'll be right back.
Do you like fine dining, but still want that close neighborhood bar feel? Myers Landing Bar and Grill is the place. Whether it's business lunch, lunch with friends, or a night out, Myers Landing has you covered. Located in the Myers Lake Plaza on Whipple Avenue in Canton, Myers Landing is open every day for lunch and dinner. Check out daily food and drink specials on Facebook and enjoy them indoors, outside in the sun, or on the covered patio. Cheer on your favorite team with 7 TVs inside and 4 more outside. Myers Landing, new owners, new look, new atmosphere. Your new spot.
Feldman's kick fielded at the 10, 15, 20-yard line, 22-yard line on the return. Junior wideout Cord Haubert. So an uphill situation here for Hoover. 56 seconds to go. They do not have any timeouts. They've got to go 79 yards to tie the ball game. Our Jerseys wrap-up report will follow our ball game. Stay tuned for that. And back is Keller. Looking, throws. It's caught, Nist, and Nist out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That's a Wacom Auto Group first down. Keller with a BB to Nist.
Good pitch and catch, and nice job of using the sideline on the deep comeback route. 1, 2, 3, boom. 12 back to 10, right into the sideline for a 9-yard gain.
Oh, that's my fault there. 2nd down and 2. I thought it was a first down throw. Keller in trouble, running 30, 40, and out of bounds. That used up 7 seconds.
A lot of time left, and with the athleticism of Keller, if he doesn't like it, if you drop too many guys off, he's going to chew up a lot of yards in a hurry.
Oh yeah, he can use his legs just as effectively as his arm. At the 41, a Wacom Auto Group first down moments ago by Hoover. They've got the ball, no timeouts. They trail by 7. Keller going to roll, looking, throws. Rakowski, or I should say Johnson, in and out of his hands, incomplete. The sophomore Drew Johnson unable to hang on.
Yeah, it's just the back and the flat off the sprint out, and he just wasn't able to handle it.
Second down and 10 over the middle, and it's Johnson to midfield and out of bounds.
Good read by John Keller. They brought the blitz off the slot and brought the crossing route from the other side, right where the linebacker blitzed. Nice game. Still a lot of time left. You can still throw the ball in the middle of the field if it's deep enough, because the clock will stop until they get this change move if it's first down.
Yep, first down. Brought to you by the Wacom Auto Group. Hoover at the Jackson 47. Keller all day to throw, middle, and tipped and incomplete. Off the hands of Nist. Down near the 20-yard line. Oh my, that was close.
Really close. Post route in between the 2 high safeties. Just a little bit out in front. Would have been an unbelievable catch.
Stops the clock with 30 seconds left. 2nd and 10.
Everybody on the Jackson side of the stand standing up for this one.
Sure.
Great effort by both teams tonight. Coach Baum and his staff. These kids playing hard at home. Last home game for these seniors.
Keller back, looks, throws right side. It's caught down the sideline. 20, 15, and out of bounds. Mike Robinson, the tight end. And now we're down to 22 seconds to go.
Big time throw from John Keller from the far hash. Ball's in the air a long time. If you gamble and you miss, this is what happens. Garrett Sin just did sin going for the gamble on that. You simply tackle him inbounds and not let him get down the sideline and out of bounds.
At the 18, quick toss. Rykowski avoids a tackler. 15 and gets out of bounds with 16 ticks left. And now Hoover is in the Walsh University red zone.
What a ball game.
Yeah.
Both quarterbacks just field generals.
Ball is
leading both their teams, doing it with arms and legs. You see him beat up Pilata with a separated shoulder. John Keller engineering an Elway-like drive in this last minute.
At the 13, Keller back, looks, throws, caught. Johnson to the 5 and out of bounds. Johnson near the 5-yard line. And we're down to 11 seconds left.
Just a crossing route. Great catch by Drew Johnson on that. A little ball, but a little bit behind him. And it was nail-biting time if you're Jackson.
It's first
Hoover's
and goal.
moving.
First and goal at the 5.
Now remember, this drive has happened with no timeouts. Got the bunch set, trying to create a mismatch and a pick.
Keller looking, chased, in trouble, gets away, gets a block. To the 10, to the 5, cuts it inside. Touchdown! Touchdown is the signal with 2 seconds to go.
John Keller just willing his team. What an unbelievable play. The athleticism of Keller, the ability to extend the play and not get pulled down from behind.
Jonah Klein on to attempt the extra point. Hoover will try to tie this.
Big extra point.
With 2 seconds to go.
He's missed a chip shot at field goal.
But that was off to the left a bit. Extra point up, and it is good. And that touchdown run is going to be another outstanding play nominee. 28-28. Hoover just went down the field with no timeouts. And this is going to be a rock-solid offensive play of the game, brought to you by the Friends and Family Credit Union. How does he get away?
Just pure athleticism. Great block by number 52 for Hoover, Stephon Pope. And John Keller leaning in with that 6'2 frame.
Would not be
breaking
denied.
the plane, sniffing the goal line, laying it on the line, extending for a touchdown. What a big-time play. You know the old saying, right, partner? Big-time players make big-time plays, and that was one of them.
Hoover gets up off the mat and goes down the field 78 yards.
And 9 plays in a minute, just leaving 2 ticks.
Yeah.
And it was capped off by a 5-yard TD run. Great drive by John Keller. All John Keller. Didn't miss a pass on that drive. Had 3 or 4 runs to extend plays and get out of bounds. What an unbelievable ball game. And
They'll put it on the ground. It's touched. And on the return is Kulich. And he'll run out of bounds, and the game will end officially. But we are going to enjoy some extra football on this Friday night in Week 10. We're going to overtime. Jackson won the toss. They chose to go on defense first. Keller, middle, ball tipped. Keller grabs it out of the air and then falls forward. It's going to be a loss back to the 22. But Jackson trying to, Hoover trying to strike quickly with a pass over the middle, JP.
Johnny, you got to knock that ball down, son. You don't take a 2-yard loss. The ball pops up, smack it down right now. Not worth taking that loss or the extra hit.
2nd down and 12, rolling right, he'll throw, and it's almost intercepted. Nearly picked off by Victor Schott. Not able to hang on. It'll bring up 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, just an ill-advised, but you had the flat wide open, and he's trying to, it's the flood concept. We're flooding the zone, had a short guy at 5 yards. You take that ball, put it on him on that outside hip, let him get 5 to set up a 3rd and 7, as opposed to trying to throw the deeper one where it was covered, and now it's 3rd and 12.
3rd and 12 at the 22. Keller back, looking, in trouble, goes down back at the 28-yard line. And he gets up it's going to bring up 4th down and long.
The backside pressure. John steps up. A great effort by number 70 for Jackson. Joe Ackerman, a 6'3", 195-pound sophomore. Big future for the Soft.
4th down and 19 at the 29. Trips to the far side. Keller going to roll. Pressure, screen, back to Rakowski. 25, 20, 15. Rakowski knocked out of bounds down near the 10, but he's going to be shy of the 1st down. A Jackson player slow to get up down there. That is Shatrich, who's being attended to now.
I ran this play earlier. It's the sprint right, screen left.
Jim, they're short by a yard.
Very well. God, big hit by Shatrich. Yep. Helmet to helmet. I think he might, you could see him just lay limp. Wouldn't surprise me if he's got a concussion, because Rakowski was fighting for that extra yard, and great effort by both kids.
And they come up short by 1 yard, so Jackson will take over.
And like I said, if he knocks the ball down on the pass that was deflected, he lost 2. He lost 2, and they were short by 1.
Yeah. Yep. Big play, obviously.
It's a game of inches, partner.
So they are continuing to attend to Nick Shatrich. He's at least sitting up now, down near the 15-yard line. Our Frank Salona is in the area. Frank, can you give us anything?
Yeah, you know, guys, it was just one heck of a hit. I mean, Nick just kind of got his bell rung a little bit. He got up, he went back down, and that's when the trainers came over. So they kind of gave him a little bit of a few minutes to kind of recover, and now he's up and answering a few questions.
All right, thanks, Frank. All right, Jackson takes over on downs at the Hoover 20-yard line. The defense came up big moments ago. Can the offense finish it? Pilata looking to his right, being chased, throws to the end zone, and incomplete, and a flag comes in. And there's a flag on the far sideline as well. 2 flags on the play.
Wonder if he was across the line of scrimmage when he tried to throw that away. Got to make your mind up a little quicker than that. Can't have a penalty on 1st down. This is a loss of down, too. This is a big penalty.
Yeah, intentional grounding. And again, we've got another flag.
Pretty good protection up front. Just made his mind up a little bit late. You can see him cross the line. He's well past the line. That's a good call by the official.
Second down and 15 at the 25. 28-28. Childers to the right of Pilata.
Showing blitz off the edge.
Childers carries, and he is upended right at the 25-yard line.
This play by Michael Gallagher.
Yep.
Coming up, chopping him down like a tree.
Well, Hoover's defense has come up big here in overtime so far.
Nice tackle. Just cut his legs down.
Yeah.
3rd and 14.
Yeah, they're going to give him a yard. Ball is at the 24. We are in overtime.
I don't know what the range is for Josh Feldman, the junior kicker for Jackson, but if
we may be about to find out.
You got to give him some field position here.
Childers is wrapped up and dropped by J.R. Rupert. It's 4th down, and here comes Feldman.
Well, I hope that his range, for Jackson's sake, is within 42, because that's about what it's going to be. Ball's going to get snapped from the 25, trying to confuse Hoover's defense with Brandon O'Quinn coming across in motion, and Hoover says, "Not on my watch."
Yep, this is going to be from the 32, so you are looking at a 42-yard kick. the 6-foot senior. Down, kick, up, and it is no good. No good. It was a knuckleball, Jim, and it did not get there. So we're going to double overtime.
Showing blitz. Now they drop out of it.
The give to Childers. Childers right side. Childers running room and tripped up as he'll take it down near the 12-yard line. A big gain on first down for Jackson.
Now they're 2nd and 2. Now they can run their RPOs. Now you can run a little play action pass. You can run a little slant boot if you want to get pull out on the edge. There's a lot of different things you can do on 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 at the 12. Childers again, running room. Childers getting a push, and
Great
getting a
run.
big push from the O-line as he takes it down near the 6. It's a Wacom Auto Group first down and a 1st and goal.
Just a strong run. Good job by Childers being patient, wrapping that ball up with 2 arms. You can see even going to the ground, he's like, no way that ball's coming out. It's first down. He already got the first down, so he didn't have to try to do anything more than that.
At the 6-yard line. Childers again. Childers cuts it inside. Touchdown, Jackson. Joe Childers with the touchdown here in the 2nd overtime, giving Jackson a 34-28 lead. Feldman on to attempt the extra point.
Again, just running that GT scheme, and that's all Childers. He beat the blockers on the pull, broke a couple tackles, and that's all Hart. Big extra point here for Jackson.
Sure. Kick is up, and the signal is good. Jackson 35, Hoover 28 here in double overtime.
Nice kick by Feldman. You know, you shank a field goal like that. You don't think that kid's walking out and a little bit nervous. Think about that last kick. A little bit of doubt. Creeps in a little bit. You know, kickers are different animals altogether.
And the give to Rykowski. Rykowski straight ahead, and he'll carry down near close to the 15. 5 yards. Boy, look at the production from Rykowski and Childers, just pounding that ball.
Well, you can see why. They're 1 and 2 in the league, and these guys aren't running through small holes. These offensive lines are flat out getting it done.
Rykowski again, straight ahead, tough yards again, and he is down to the 11. You're looking at 3rd down and about a yard now. Second overtime. Joe Childers scoring moments ago for Jackson. Hoover now in a must situation where they've got to score 6. Quickly under center, and the first back through, and it's going to be close. It looks like they'll take it inside the 10. Well, the up back's carrying that time, Jim. I did not see who it was. On the carry that time was number 3, Ben Smith. It is a first down. So it's 1st and goal now for Hoover, just inside the 10.
A long 9 3/4 yards for a touchdown.
You are so right, partner.
Would have been better off just getting tackled right at the 10.
That's Rykowski in motion. Throws middle, caught, missed, rather, but the ball is ripped out. And did Jackson recover?
They did. They didn't break the play, and the ball game's over. What a finish. What a heartbreak for Hoover. Unbelievable. We'll have to see the replay who ripped that ball out, but Nist was ready to go into the end zone.
Brady Nist had it right at the goal line, and the ball came out.
Uh-oh, now they're talking about it. Oh, it's over.
That's the rule.
What a win for Jackson. What a heartbreak for Hoover.
My goodness. Hoover, as the Vikings fall to Jackson 35-28 in double overtime on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Welcome to our Jerseys wrap-up report. Jackson finishing the regular season at 8-2. Hoover falling to 4-6. And what a tremendous ball game. Quickly, let's go down on the field. Our Frank Salona with Tim Budd of the Jackson Polar Bears. Frank?
All right, Coach. Take a deep breath and tell me, what are your thoughts immediately after this one?
Well, just so proud of our kids. We had so many chances in that game to give up, and we just kept fighting, and we ended up being on the winning end of it. Hats off to Hoover. They played their hearts out. It's one of those games where nobody deserves to lose, and, all respect to them as well. I'm just so happy for Jackson Township and our school and all our supporters. It's been so long since we had a piece of the Federal League that, feels good to give them a Federal League championship.
There's always been talk. Jackson needs to get tougher. I think they were pretty tough here tonight.
Yeah, it's funny. Over 3 years, that's disappeared. So.
Talk about your quarterback. He kind of injured that left shoulder a little bit, but he fought through it tonight, and that was early in the game. He had to play another 3 quarters.
Yeah, he said, I'm not coming out. I said, okay, you're a senior, you're a winner. Let's roll. But it was tough. A lot of guts. And Joe Ackerman, we were down 2 defensive ends, and he came in as a third-string guy, and he played his heart out and made a lot of plays as a sophomore. But those are the kind of performances you need to win a game like this.
Last question, Coach. Talk about your running back. He was gutless tonight. So what a gutsy performance.
Yeah, Joe Childers, he fumbled. He felt terrible about it, but we kept giving him the ball, and we were getting stronger up front as the game went on, and we were going to ride him into the end zone there at the end.
All right, Coach. Congratulations. Federal League championship in the bag for Jackson.
All right, thanks very much.
All right, guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks to Coach Budd, and thank you, Frank Salona. A great job as we continue with our Jerseys wrap-up report. Jackson a winner in double overtime, 35-28, and they claim a share of the Federal League Championship in 2017. Jim Ballard, let's take a look now at our final statistics. And boy, after that first half, things really picked up, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. It was 191 yards rushing for Jackson, led by Joe Childers, 37 carries, 191 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hoover had 265 yards rushing. Luke Rakowski, 144 yards. John Keller also chipped in with 120 yards passing. Jarrett Pilata was 8 for 20 for 130 yards. John Keller, 15 for 30, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. First down, 17 for Jackson, 24 for Hoover. 4 turnovers apiece for each ball team. Penalties, 3 for 40 for Jackson, and the difference in the second half, in my opinion, one of them was the 11 total penalties for 89 yards. Hoover with a lot of penalties in the second half.
All right, those are our final numbers as we continue with our Jerseys wrap-up report. Time now to bring you our Friends and Family Credit Union rock-solid offensive play of the game, and for that we go back to the play early in the fourth quarter. It was Jackson getting on the board, Pilata to Boyer.
Yeah, just a nice job on a fourth down play and keeping his poise and getting to a second choice receiver, and nice catch by Zach Boyer.
Now at the time, Hoover was up 21-7. That cut the lead 21-14, and it marked the beginning of the comeback for Jackson. So again, Boyer with the reception there, Pilata to Boyer. All right, time now to bring you our Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game, and I'll tell you what, a lot of nominees tonight, but the one guy who was stood out above all others, Jim.
Not the biggest guy on the field, but one of the biggest hearts on the field, Joe Childers. Tremendous ball game, played both. Had a couple special team tackles, 37 carries, 191 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also had a couple catches out of the backfield, a couple tackles on special teams, and had at least 5 or 6 tackles on defense. Tremendous ball game, Joe Childers. Congratulations, Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game.
Joe Childers wins a $25 gift card courtesy of Old Carolina Barbecue. Joe Childers, our player of the game. And finally now, our SARTA pinpoint play of the game, and really no doubt as to what that play would be. It's the final play of the game, Jim.
Yeah, it sure was. It was a great read by John Keller.
throwing the ball in the spot route and tremendous team defense. One guy holding him up, 3 more Polar Bears coming in, ripping the ball out before the ball crosses the plane. Great play, great play, great play at the key time of the ball game. Unbelievable game.
That is our Sarda pinpoint play of the game. That is going to do it for our Jerseys wrap-up report here tonight at Hoover. For our sideline reporter, Frank Salona. For our statistician, Bob Jeffries. For my color analyst, Jim Ballard, I'm Dave Sheets. Thanks to our image video crew. A great job here tonight. Our final score in our TV replay game of the week in double overtime. Jackson wins it 35-28 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this one as much as we did.